Hey everyone, my name is Captain Jack and welcome back to the channel. Today we're discussing the latest Space Engineers update. Now this is update 1.190.1. It's a minor improvement update, so there's nothing big with this, so don't worry, you're not missing any content. But there was a certain feature of this update I wanted to discuss in greater detail and bring your attention to it, as if you've been following Space Engineers in the last month, then this little feature is going to apply quite a lot to you. So let's rewind time to a couple about 2 to 3 weeks ago. The DLC was added to Space Engineers. This was the Decorative Block DLC. It brought through a whole host of new features, including, these nice new blocks we could play with, the Industrial Cockpit. But one thing it didn't bring was functionality. While people who owned the DLC could play with the blocks and get in them, if I had a friend, like you saw in Conley Wars, who wanted to jump in my new welder ship, which has the Industrial Cockpit, which was a part of the DLC pack, him or her couldn't actually access it. And this was a big thing for the community, because while DLC owners could place and play with them, other people couldn't actually use the blocks around them, not even interact with them, which I thought was a little bit leaning on the other side. While I can understand where the developer Keen Software House was trying to come from, in meaning that you have to buy the DLC to be able to play with it, it did take away the immersion of the game style slightly. Well, now thanks to community feedback, it appears Keen Software House, the SC developer, have actually listened to the community and rolled around a change. In the changelog for this update, Jesse, one of the community managers, posts, all players can now use any DLC blocks without owning the DLC. However, placement, i.e. placing a block, spawning it in a blueprint containing DLC blocks, or initially welding the block, is still reserved for DLC owners only. So you're probably thinking, Jack, why are you making a video about this? It's not really that big of a deal. Well, I disagree and say this is actually quite a big deal. A lot of the community were very vocal about this feature, therefore Keen, listening to the community and changing around, I do feel needs to be recognised quite a lot. Quite a few comments are thrown at Keen all the time, and I see in my comments that they don't listen to the community. I think this is, a prime example of them listening to the community. Now, yes, this probably should have been done before the DLC even released, but, sometimes game developers don't get it right and they need the big community feedback. QA can only do so much, so thankfully to our feedback here, we've managed to get this changed around now. So if you do not own the DLC blocks, yet your friend does and you're playing multiplayer, maybe you're playing on one of my game servers, and you see DLC blocks and you want to use them, you can now use them, you just can't build them, which I think is a perfect trade-off, to be honest. If you want to build the blocks and put them where you want, you're going to have to buy the DLC. But if someone's just placed a holographic table on the bridge of your ship, and you want to display your own ship on it, you can now do that, you can use it. Functionality is here with the blocks. This is for the likes of the holo table, the industrial cockpit, the armory, the bed, stuff like that, you can now use. Even the toilet, yes, you can use the toilet as well. And I personally think this is great news. Now, one of the big discussions is about the industrial cockpit, particularly its inclusion within the DLC pack, as many argue it's not actually really the decorative block, it's more industrial and functional, includes in the name, and whether it should be included in the core, the core game, which does make sense in a way, but also it is more like a prettier version of a cockpit. Personally, I'm 50-50 on this. When I was originally told about the DLC, I personally didn't think the cockpit was a part of it. I think I must have overlooked something there and presumed it was part of free content, but no, I was unfortunately wrong. Good job I didn't open my mouth before the actual release, but hey ho. But in the meantime, I think maybe there could be a compromise there. It appears Keen on listening to that community feedback, though for the moment I will think the industrial cockpit will most likely stay as a DLC block. It does look quite fancy and it's kind of drawing people in to support the game further. I think overall the response to the DLC has been really good and mainly positive. I've not seen too many negative comments and criticism about it. Now with a functionality update, I think this is going to make things work 10 times easier, and it's going to be interesting to see how this affects future DLC as well. Hopefully Keen are taking on all the feedback and learning from this, and because the community want to see DLC and are happy with it as long as they can use it if they don't own it. I think that's a perfect trade-off, to be honest, and if anything might make people buy the DLC more. I don't know, maybe you guys can give me your feedback in the comment section. Now that DLC is functional to you, so if you're not a DLC owner of the Decorative Pack, now it's functional to you, would you consider buying it more rather than it wasn't? I don't know, you let me know what you think down below in the comments. I'm interested in your opinion, as the DLC topic around Space Engineers is something I'm making a bigger video on, I would like to discuss in greater detail in maybe sort of a podcast, talk show fashion. So yeah, definitely something we're going to be covering soon. But in the meantime, I've been Captain Jack in this video. I hope you enjoyed this short little update video today. If you do want to go and read the latest Space Engineers update, which was released yesterday at 5:30 BST, that's 5:30 PM BST, I'll leave a link down below. It includes a bunch of minor changes such as spawn changes and stuff like that. It's quite cool if you run servers and are considered, and chasing some of those bugs as well. Definitely go read it. Like I say, in the meantime, I've been Captain Jack. If you're looking for more Space Engineers content, then make sure to subscribe to the channel. I've got videos coming all this week. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.